guys, you're very good. Us. Right? So we have to go from God all the way to us. We're going to have to find out. Right? So if you keep up with me, I'm going to tell you our story. It's our story. Okay? And the story is written in the Bible. The Bible is not what really happened. It is the document. It is somebody who wrote down what happened. You understand me? So something happens, somebody wrote it down. So this is a real story that happened in history, in time. And we are the product of this story. Okay? So there are books in the Bible. Some people wrote the story and some books added to the story. I will tell you something. Genesis. And then is Exodus. And there is Numbers. Just remember with me. There is 5 books written by one person. That is Moses. He wrote 5, but I wrote you 3 because the story is in these 3. Genesis continues in Exodus, and Exodus continues in Numbers. But on top of them, somebody used a permanent marker.
No, it's the same marker.
Is it?
No, it's dry erase. It just needs water.
That's not dry erase, but then.
See, I told you.
It says dry erase. No, it doesn't.
Can we get another one?
It's wet erase.
Okay. So let us see. The other 2 books that is on top of these are Leviticus and Deuteronomy. So these books actually come here in these 2. So as we are telling the story, there are other books. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to focus on these books. And I'm going to leave those to second time. We're not going to do them now. People usually read it. So how is it written in the Bible? If you look in your Bible, look at your index at the beginning. Table of context.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
Yes.
I didn't do that.
You got the table of content. So you have what? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Right? So this is the beginning of the story. Then you have Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1, 2 Samuel, 1, 2 Kings. I will stop here because that's where the story of Old Testament ends. The rest of all the books are on top of them. So where the Kings, you got Chronicles, and you got Esther, and Ezra, Nehemiah, and then poetry and prophets. So you call them wisdom, poetry, and prophets. But where is the story? Where is the family line? Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st, 2nd, 7th, 2nd, 1st, 2nd Kings. If you know these books, if you read them, you know the Bible. I'm not going to hesitate to say it. You don't need to know the rest of it. But you have to start by knowing this. When you read it again, you can read these things. People, what they do, usually, they read in order from the Bible. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. They come to Leviticus, and then what happens? You see all these very complicated stuff, big words, difficult words. What do? They read only 2 chapters, 3 chapters, then what happens? No, they lose interest, and they stop. They say, it's not for me. So what we need to do is to read the story. The story goes like that. That's it. And if we know the story, you've done your first job in knowing the Bible. And it's really rich story. Very, very interesting. If you have it, you'll be excited to finish it. And by the time you reach 1st and 2nd Kings, and maybe Ezra and Nehemiah, you will be finished. Okay? So that's what I want to do. The plan is, this is our plan. Can we put on the conditions? A little bit hot. So that's what we will do. Are we all together on this? We're all together? We're just gonna do 10 minutes 15 minutes every time we come. And then I'll ask you to do work with me, because I'm hoping that you will produce a little booklet with me. Everybody's gonna do a job in it to go and do a booklet that actually explains how to read the Bible. And we're gonna go every time in your mind, you're gonna write me something about it as we come next time. So this time we'll work on Genesis. We're starting on Genesis. It's gonna take a little bit with us. It's gonna take a little bit of studying, okay? Let's start with Genesis 1. And I want us to go in order. So one from the boys' side and one from the girls' side. You read 3 verses, and she would read 3 verses and go on. So until we finish chapter 1. Okay, let's go.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
Okay.
And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Then God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters."
Thus God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. So the evening and the morning were the second day. Then God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so.
Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit, according to its kind, whose seed is it itself on earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and the herbs out. So the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, "Let there be light in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons and for days and years."
Verse number 14.
Then God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons, and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light to the earth." And it was so. Then God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth.
And to rule over the day and over the night, to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the 4th day. Then God said, "Let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the face of the heavens." So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abundant according to their great kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the bird multiply on the earth." And so the evening and the morning were the 5th day.
Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creatures according to its kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth, each according to its kind." And it was so. And God made the beast according to And God made the beasts of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And God said that it was good. Then God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, so the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth.
That was confusing.
So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. Then God blessed them, and he said to them, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of the earth, and every tree which fruit yields seed, to you shall it be food. Also to every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, in which there is life, I have given every green herb for food. And it was so.
Then God saw everything that he had made, indeed, it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
Do the 2 verses for chapter 2.
Thus the heavens and the earth and all the host of them were finished. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done.
1 more verse.
Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made.
Good. Now we're going to answer a few questions here. One of the questions, we have these questions to answer. One, I want you to tell me something about God from creation. Number 2, something about what we do in the church. Three, a commandment. What is a commandment? Anybody? Number 4, something for prayer, to use this for prayer. So I call it theology, something about God, who God is like, what's God like. I want to know what God's like from the Bible. I want to know what I'm doing in the church, if it has to do anything with the Bible. I need to know what God wants me to do, and I want to improve my relationship with God. So let's say something about God. Now, what are the 2 words that God described the earth? The 2 things. Look for me, a verse that describes how God saw the earth.
Can I come in? I'm late.
That's okay. Tell me 2 things that God had described the earth as. Yes?
One of them was good.
Okay, but is it the earth or what he created on the earth?
Everything that he made.
The things that he made, but what he described the earth in its beginning. It's actually in the very first beginning. Yes? I need to know your name again. Verena, yes.
It says the earth was without form and void.
These are the 2 words I'm looking for. One, without form. What does it mean? And the other one is void. What does it mean, without form? Any idea? Yes?
Like, kind of like water, it can go anywhere it wants.
Yes.
Shape.
There is no shape, right? So you can think of it as a junkyard. When you go to a junkyard, can you make out anything? Have you been to a junkyard?
Sure.
Anybody?
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah?
We have to have a trip to the junkyard.
Yeah, junkyard is a place where people put junk. So you go there and you think it has anything that you can make out. It's just rubble. It's like ditched stuff. You have something you want to get rid of, you put it in the junkyard. It's really nothing. But why is void? Is it void? A junkyard is void? It's not void, but what is it? When I get you to a junkyard, I say, do you have something here? Do you see anything? Say, I don't see anything. But you're thinking, I see anything that I can use. There's nothing I will be excited about. So when God looked at the earth, he found it has no shape and it's empty. No shape, empty. Guess what? There are 7 days. 6 days that God worked on. 6 days. 6 days. 3 of them is going to be about the form, and 3 will be about the emptiness. He's going to have to make shape of the earth. He looked at the earth, it's almost like you have a clay. You played with Play-Doh before? So you can make a house, you can make a car, you can make a rocket, you can make anything you want with a Play-Doh, right? So first thing you think about, I'm going to give it some shape. I'll make it look like something. So what is God doing in the first 3 days? I want you to look in your verses and tell me, what did God create on the first day? Now we're going to have to talk about this without form idea. What God created on the first day. There's 3 here, and there's 3 here. First day, yes?
Light.
Light. So the first thing is light. And what did he do when he did the light? What is next after he created the light? Yes?
He split it between darkness and light.
So you make a separation between darkness and light. What did he call darkness? Night. So, night. Let me just go here so you actually can see it. So the first day, light, right? And then immediately he goes into darkness. And then into day. I'm sorry, light. So that's darkness means night. And light means day. These are 2 rooms. You can think of it as 2 places. The place of the night and the place of the day. We are we're right now in the day. When the sun sets and it's dark, we're in the place of night. So God made a wall between night and day. Number 2, what did he create?
Water, land,
The water was there, remember?
land.
We're all talking about the earth, we're not talking about what is he? Yes, what did you say, David?
I said land.
Land. And then he separated it from, did he create land, number 2? Anybody agree with that?
Separated it from the heaven.
Okay. I have to get my own eraser. Here it is. So what's number 2? What's number 2? What did God do, number 2? No, you have to look. This is where we go. When you study the Bible, do one thing for me. Don't come up with suggestions. Read, then find out. Then, yes, Richard.
Then God said, let the waters, Thus God made the firmament.
The firmament.
God said, let there be a firmament in the midst
A
of the waters.
firmament. What's a firmament? This is another common word. Anybody? Firmament. What's a firmament? Huh? Okay. What's a firmament? So the earth was like this. There's a lot of water on top of the earth. There's actually a lot of water on top of the earth. There is a lot of water on top of the earth. The whole thing is water. There's water, and the earth apparently was hot, and there's water that boils. You know how you open the cover of a pan or a pot when the water is boiling? There's a lot of vapor everywhere. So God said, we're going to do something here. I'm going to make a space between these waters. We just leave water on the earth, and between this water, you see that faint purple stuff? That faint purple stuff is gas. There's no water here. But there's water here, and there's water on the earth. And he called that firmament. What do you call that today? What do you call that place? Huh? Huh? No? There is water here. Heaven is out here. Here is heaven. This is where the stars is. But what is that? A gas, an area of gas between the oceans, the water that's on the earth, and the clouds. A very huge clouds on top. This is, yes? Sky. What do you call that? Hello? Sky. Sky. Sky, where birds and airplanes are, right? Okay? So the sky is that place between water and so God created the sky. And then under the sky there were the seas. So the sky is number 3 and the sea is number 4. Now what about third thing he created now, David? Because you jumped into it immediately. Land. Number 3 is land. On the 3rd day he created land and he separated the land from the sea. So land is number 4, 5. So what happened is the earth was like this. There's a lot of seas on top. Everything is covered with water. Then volcanoes started to erupt. Volcanoes. A lot of volcanoes, they say. A lot of volcanoes. What happens when the volcanoes erupted? Have you watched any pictures of Hawaii? The Caribbean islands? Yes? What are they? What are the Caribbean islands?
Volcanoes.
Volcanoes. Hawaii are volcanoes. So it comes out from under the sea, the crust of the earth breaks, and then what happens? A lot of lava comes out. Lava keeps pouring out, and then it goes into the sea. What happens? It cools and becomes rocks. So you get continents now started to appear on the earth. Continents. So land appeared, God separated the land from the water. So number 3, He created land. We already have the seas that had no land. Sea were not broken. Now it's broken by land. So now 3 days. What's the first day? He created light. Then the second day He created firmament. Third day He created land. And we have 5 domains, 5 rooms on the earth. The first room is night, that's the first room. The second room is day. The third room is sky. The fourth room is seas, and the fifth room is land. Good? Are we together? Let's see the next set of days. We'll learn something about God from this. We come up with what is God like? Who is He? Is he kind? Is he gentle? Is he aggressive? Is he scary? Is he big? Is he small? Is he fair? Is he just? Is he organized? Is he disorganized? What does He like? What does He like? So let's go to day number 4. What did God do on day number 4? Yes?
Plants.
Okay, can we look up plants and see what day it is? You get a Bible? Let's see if day number, when the plants were made. Plants. Where were they made? Where were the plants made? Huh? Look it up for yourself.
No, the 4th day. No?
The 4th day was sea creatures.
The 4th day were?
The creatures of the sea.
That's what it says.
Were they birds?
The sun.
When was?
It was the sun and the moon.
That's the 4th day. But when was the plants made? Look up, because I want you to be familiar with these things.
This is the next day. It says right there.
Good job. It is with the land on the same day, and plants. Let me ask you this. Does that sound familiar? That what is plants on the earth? Are the first?
Living things.
The first living thing comes on the land on the 3rd day. Does that sound familiar? Did you hear this before? No. Life comes up on the 3rd day, according to the scriptures. I'm just giving you a hint.
Oh.
Huh?
When Jesus resurrected.
Yes. So this is the first
I
time.
got it once he said it.
You know what Jesus said about Himself? He said about Himself that I am the grain of wheat. I have to be buried. He likened Himself as a metaphor to a grain of wheat that has to be buried in the ground so it rises. When it rises from the ground, what day is that? From the day that was buried. 3rd day. So this is the plant's first life on earth on the 3rd day. Let's go to number 4, 5, and 6. What happened on 4, 5, and 6 so we can finish this? 4, 5, and 6.
And the stars.
4, 5, and 6 actually is 4.
Is what they fill it with.
Sun, exactly, good job. Sun, moon, and stars. And he specifically said, what's the sun for?
Light. The day.
To control.
The day.
And what is the moon and stars for?
The natural day.
So number 4 is filling the night and the day. Because God said, what is it? Without form, He's making form, 3 days. And its void is going to fill the void. So the sun is going to fill the day, and the sun, the moon and the stars will fill, right? Okay, so let's go to day number 5. What God created on day number 5?
The sea creatures.
Sea creatures and
Birds, 5.
sea creatures.
Birds, plus sea creature, there's something else.
Cattle.
Thank you. They're called the great whales of the sea creatures and dinosaurs. There's a word there. There's a word in Hebrew that says tanin, and I'm not going to go into details about it. Tanin means dinosaurs. So 5 fills which day? The sky, because it's birds, sea creatures, and dinosaurs, seas. So God is filling these 2 rooms that He made, the sky and the sea. He's filling the sky with?
Birds.
And then He's filling the sea with?
Dinosaurs.
Exactly. How about day number 6? What God is doing on day number 6? Beasts, cattle, and then what? Humans on top of everybody. So what does the beasts and cattle do? They already have plans to eat. God has made that. Okay, so tell me now. Do you get that? So God had made 5 domains in 3 days, and filled these domains with creatures in 3 days. So He's answering, in 3 days He's answering the lack of form, and 3 days He's actually answering, or He could doing the void. So what do you get from that? Yes, David?
I have a question.
Yes?
Wait, so aren't most dinosaurs land dwelling?
They're both. Actually, the first dinosaurs are sea. That's what they found. Dinosaurs, the first dinosaurs are actually sea dinosaurs. The first living life, they found that in something called the Cambrian explosion. Cambrian explosion is sea creatures, not land creatures. The first dinosaurs are sea dinosaurs, the hugest monsters I've seen. Yes?
Wasn't sea creatures then air creatures?
Say it again?
Was it like sea creatures then birds?
Yes, both of them come at the same time. And the science said that both of them found in the same layers. The birds and the dinosaurs are found in the same layers. So what do you see from this? Okay? Anybody? I want to come to a conclusion so we can move on. What do you see from this? And that's all what I'm going to have for today. What do you know about God from this? What do you know about Him? Now, I've given you something that God done, and I want you to tell me something that He is. I've told you what He's doing. I want you to tell me who He is. What is He like? Yes?
He's very creative.
He's creative. God is the creator. He comes up with ideas. Right? What else? Yes?
He knows what He's doing.
He knows what He's doing. You want to give me another word for that? Yes? God, of course, very smart. Yes? God is smart, very intelligent. And we said, what is it? Creative. And what else? Yes?
Responsible and capable of everything.
He's capable, right? We're going to come to responsible. This is true, but we have not yet there. What else? I want the word, the key word. Uncle Sam did it.
Hey, I said that in the
Very organized. Why is that? Why is that? Why do we say that God is organized? Because He has.
Everything planned out.
Thank you. That's the key word. He has a plan. He has a plan. There's a plan. God knows what He's doing. First, He looked, and what did He see that He didn't like? Without form. And He looked again and found it. So what is God interested in? He's interested in 2 things. He's interested in beauty and plus function. Function. You can have a beautiful thing, but it's useless. That's not going to be nice. You can have something very functional, but looks ugly. Then God's not going to be interested. Everything God does is beautiful and functional. These are the 2 things that God. So He's smart, He's creative, He's capable, and He's very organized. That's what you see from the creation. Because what He created, you can look at any moment and see what He's doing, and you say, "What? Wow, who can do that?" Right? Any other things that you want to do? So this is our beginning of. Next time we're going to talk about the 7th day. This is by itself is a huge thing we have to look at. Think about this. Why God, and what is the meaning of God blessing and sanctifying the 7th day? What does it mean that God blessed and sanctified? Okay, let's go into our. Any question? Okay, all right.